Okay, hello. Back again for the last stream of this week. This is going to be uh, the first episode of Terraria. But I'm going to, put a little twist on it. Instead of playing vanilla Terraria, or Terraria, however you want to pronounce it, I'm playing the Calamity Mod, which I do think is the most popular mod of this game. This is kind of the thing that players go to once they are done with vanilla Terraria. And I've played vanilla plenty of times when I was a kid and kind of recently, so I decided to try out this mod. Now, full disclosure, I have played through most of this mod before. Not too long before I did this, or I started this, this file right here that I'm going to start right now. I did play on Revengeance mode, on Master mode, and I played through most of the game. I played through about 2/3 of the game, just to prepare for this series, because I realized that death mode is probably even harder by like a lot, and I didn't want to go into it completely blind. So I went through Revengeance mode, and that was pretty tough on its own. So I'm kind of excited for this, but I'm kind of scared. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going in blind, so I know what's going on. I know how to figure stuff out. But with that being said, I don't want to use the wiki. So if anybody happens to be in chat at all during the series, I don't mind if you backseat or like help me out with stuff in chat, but I'd rather not look stuff up if I can help it, because that just seems like it's too easy, and I feel like the game kind of helps you figure out stuff anyways, so I feel like I don't really need the wiki. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing you want to do in this game is to make a new character. And honestly, in this game I typically like to go random, and as long as it's a guy, like this one right here, then I run with it. And I just make up a random name for him. Now let's see. The guy I named in my Tina's Wonderlands series, I named him Vicari. So let's see. I'm trying to see if I can like brainstorm a name based on that, or like just come up with another one. I guess I could just go to the random letter generator again and and brainstorm up something. Random letter generator. We got L. Okay. We got L. Sorry, I'm like kind of blanking right now. You know what? Let's name him Lex, because the name popped in my head and it made me think of Lex Luthor. And it's not that fantastical of a name, but I like the reference. I'm just gonna name him Lex. So let's go ahead and keep that. Let's create him, and he's just gonna be on normal core or classic, so I don't lose my items on death, and he's not completely deleted the first time I die. I'm not trying to do all that. So let's go ahead and select him, and now we get to make our world. And for the world name, I honestly don't even know what the name of the world. I forgot you get to name the world as well. But I know I like to name them after planets. Or not after planets, but like kind of like a planet name. Like something that you would imagine a planet could be named. So I'm just gonna name this like Alphris. Or something like that. Yep, that's good enough for me. I like that. And I like to go in a large world. We're doing master mode. And let's just go ahead and randomize Corruption or Crimson. Because I think either way we'll be able to get most of the other stuff no matter what is chosen. And that's because of how Calamity Mod works. So let's go ahead and create this large master world with, looks like it chose Corruption. So we're just going to run Corruption. And while this is being made, I will say, the main mod that I'm going to be playing is Calamity Mod, but I do have a few others installed as well. I think I have Louis AFK for some augments to the potion system and the buff system and all that stuff. I've got, what else do I have? Honestly, don't even remember. I've got a few others though. I'll check my mod list once this is done. But Calamity is going to be like the main one we're going to be progressing through. Wow, this little, like, 2% that's left is taking forever, huh? I did pick a large world to be fair, though, so that kind of makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into Alpharis, or Alpharis. I'm not picky on pronunciation. English. Alright, so this is the game. It's a pretty big difference from the title screen. All that dramatic music and the, you know, that big old tower with the ashes around it and everything. But we jump in and this is just regular overworld here. Well, let's see. Let me check what mods I have on, just to make sure. I've got the boss checklist mod, Calamity mod, extra music for the Calamity mod, vanity sets, I guess, from Calamity. Oh yeah, magic storage, Louis AFK, and I don't know what this is. Absolute Aquarian. Honestly, don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to back out to the menu and see what that is. Oh, it's required by magic storage. Okay, so this must be like a library mod or something. Anyways. So yeah, magic storage, Louis AFK, and the boss checklist mod are going to be the other few that I have alongside Calamity. So, like I said, this is not my first time playing Terraria, so I'm not going in blind at all. I'd say out of the games that I'm playing for the week, or for, you know, for all my series that I'm starting, I have the most experience in this one. But like I said, I've never played Death Mode from the Calamity mod, so that's going to be new, actually. But I have played Revengeance mode, so this is going to be like a fun challenge for me, a nice step up. And, you know, hopefully I can actually get through it. But Revengeance was actually pretty tough for me. So I'm kind of prepared to kind of grind on bosses for a little bit. And kind of be here for a long time. But that's kind of what it's all about, huh? So for anyone who doesn't know, is watching this based on my other series that they saw, and they got interested in this one. This is going to be the best way I could describe it to anyone who doesn't know what this game is like 2D Minecraft, because we've got our little character that we made, we've got our hotbar up at the top here, and we've got all these blocks that the whole game is made out of, like Minecraft. But that's kind of it. We have survival elements like Minecraft, like you know, our health bar up here, but we don't have like a hunger bar, and there's no creative mode. So that's kind of where the similarities to Minecraft kind of end. The whole point of this game is that you have to progress through different bosses and different lore points, like where Minecraft kind of has a story, and that you kind of have to progress through the game in order to defeat that dragon at the end. This game has lore in that you have to progress through different bosses to get to a final boss, but you have to get through like 100 other bosses to get there. So there's a whole progression tree that you have to get through. I'd say it's a bit more linear than Minecraft. The harder bosses will kind of make you go through certain lines of progression before you can beat them. And you can't really easily skip through bosses. At least I can't. So it's a bit more linear than Minecraft, I would say. But there is a lot more content, and there's a lot more to get through. So we'll see all that as I play the game. And for anyone who does know the game, I obviously already know this. I'm kind of, you know, I'm just kind of messing around right now. But you might notice, if you've never played, you might notice there's no tutorial, and there's no directions on how to play. And that's by design. The vanilla game doesn't tell you what to do either at all. It just kind of throws you in and expects you to survive. The only thing that it does give you are these tools at the top here. It gave me a short sword, a pickaxe, a copper axe, and a starter bag. And then back at my spawn point here, we have these two NPCs, which we can actually talk to. But that's about it. That's the only thing the game gives you. So I'm gonna try to play this game as it maybe was meant to be played. Like, I know there's not like a set way, like a certain one way to play. But the first thing I would think of would be to talk to these guys here. So I'm gonna do that. Now this isn't like World of Warcraft where you like talk to people and get quests, but you can still get helpful info from the NPCs. So my creator had forgotten to install my my self-defense chip. Oh, oh, I see. I thought it meant viol, like a violin or something. My violence. Oh, I mean my self-defense chip. I've been upgraded, and I'm now ready for combat. And then if we click help, it gives us little tips on how to do some stuff. So to get started, you'll need to craft some storage components. This item is the base for all storage system components. Give one to a guide and see what it could be used for. Now what he's talking about is magic storage, which is one of the mods that I'm using. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be using magic storage. I just, you know, don't really like using it all too much. But I might use it. So if we talk to this guy, the other NPC that was spawned here, we say, oh, they say there's a person who will tell you how to survive in this land. Oh wait, that's me. Which is true. And if we ask him for help, you can use your pickaxe to dig through dirt, and your axe to chop down trees, Just place your cursor over the tile and click, which is true. So if I switch to my pickaxe and try to chop down a tree... Oh wait, no. He said dirt. Never mind. He said the axe for the trees. Of course he did. So if I use my axe on the trees, I can chop them down. They'll give me wood. Kind of like Minecraft. But you can see the whole tree kind of comes down when I do that. Instead of in Minecraft where the tree just kind of floats in midair until you chop it down. So you might notice that. And he said if I use my pickaxe on dirt, I can do that. So what else does he have to say, huh? If you want to survive, you'll need to create weapons and shelter. Start by chopping down trees and gathering wood. Okay, I've already done that. Press escape, the escape button on my keyboard, to access your crafting menu, where you can build a workbench. This will allow you to create more complicated things, as long as you are standing close to it, which is true. You can build a shelter by placing wood or other blocks in the world. Don't forget to create and place walls. Once you have a wooden sword, you might try to gather some gel from the slimes. Combine wood and gel to make a torch. To interact with backgrounds, use a hammer. You should do some mining to find some metal ore. You can find, or you can craft very useful things with it. So he is just going to tell us all these different tips that you can kind of rely on if you don't know any better, which is very nice. However, I'm probably not going to use them all too much because I already know what's going on. But what I am going to do is make a little cabin house to start off with, because it is getting dark, and more monsters do come out at night. So I don't really want to fight monsters if I don't have to. Alright, so what I'm going to do, actually, before I even get further into the game, is I'm actually going to have to turn on the harder difficulty, which is called Death Mode. You can change the difficulty here to Revengeance, which is unique to Calamity Mod, and it's supposed to be harder than vanilla difficulty. And then Death, which is even harder than Revengeance. This says a tougher challenge for the more experienced, or for those that want to step up from Revengeance mode. All foes will pose a much larger threat with highly aggressive AIs and increased damage. Bosses have substantially harder AI changes. Enemies are even more numerous and can easily overwhelm you. Debuffs are especially lethal, and the Abyss, which is a certain area in the game, is significantly more dangerous. Vigilance and tenacity are crucial to survive. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it on. And honestly, we could change this. We could turn it off if we wanted to. We could change difficulties later. But honestly, I don't think I really will need to. So we won't worry about that. But you can see we get these new UI elements. And if we hover over them, it says Rage 0% and Adrenaline 0%. I won't get into those right now, but those are new mechanics introduced in Calamity Mod that will be used in combat later. I can already tell this zombie right here is already a lot faster than it would have been not on death mode. So that's already, I'm already starting to see some differences here. I've got my little cabin here, my little shack, I guess. So I can relax for a few minutes at least. But this actually gives me a good opportunity to talk about the game some more. Because I'm not planning to just, you know, speed run through the game and not explain anything. But at the same time, I'm not going to interface with every single, like, box of text and every item in the game, because that's just not necessary. So what I will say is, now that we've got our house, and now that we have death mode on, I can talk about some of these UI elements. So we've got our inventory here, which has 4 rows of 10, I believe, so 40 spots, plus our hotbar, for a total of 50. We've got a little area for coins, because we get money in this game. So we've got area for coins, we've got an area for ammo, because there's guns and things that shoot stuff in this game. So we've got some ammo for bullets and arrows and other kind of stuff. We've got our crafting interface, where we can combine items to craft different items. And this will change depending on what we're standing next to. So if we place our workbench down, like our guide was saying earlier, looks like his name is Joe. So Joe, our guide, was talking about building a crafting table. And if we do and we stand next to it, you can see we have a few more options to choose from to craft. And it doesn't really require us to actually, like, put the materials in the crafting bench like Minecraft would. We could just craft it straight up from our inventory. So that's the crafting interface. We've got these little icons up here, which kind of look like a piece of paper. And this is going to be our map, our mini map. So if we click on one of those, it opens up a big map. If we click on a different one, it'll open up a little small mini map here. And this one will actually open up a kind of overlay, so we can see the big map and our screen at the same time. And then this one just gets rid of it completely. And I can also do that with the tab button. So I'm doing that with my keyboard. And then here we have our like armor and accessories interface. So once we get some armor, like iron armor, we can put that on here. And then if we find some other accessories like boots or gloves or other little trinkets and all that kind of stuff, we can put that in our accessory slot. We have room for 6 accessories, as well as some vanity items. So if you have like a set of armor that you don't think looks good, you can put other clothes over the armor, and it won't get rid of the effects of the armor, but cosmetically you'll have those other clothes on. And you can do that with accessories as well. And then these slots on the left are for dye. So if you still don't like your new clothes, you can dye them with new colors. So, you know, you can get like, you can turn a blue shirt into a red shirt or something. And there's 3 different loadouts. So if you want 3 different builds for your character, you can have up to 3. So that's pretty much the menu. Then down here we have settings, which I don't really need to mess with right now. And then finally we have our boss checklist, which, I mean, is important. But we're not going to spend like too much time in here. So do you want to enable the progression checklist? The progression checklist will limit and hide entry content until the entry is defeated or marked as completed. if you're looking to do a blind playthrough, then you might want to consider enabling this. The boss log is disabled until you make a selection or reopen it with the prompt configuration disabled. So what this is saying is that, do you want to hide each boss entry until you fight that boss, or do you just want to see every boss from the start? And I don't want to see every boss, so I want stuff to be hidden to me, which is going to be this one right here. So now we see all the different enemies or bosses that we can fight in the game, but we just don't know their names. We can see the first one here is called King Slime. So we can read up about him and see his little silhouette here, but we don't know what he really looks like or what he drops or anything like that, because we haven't fought him yet. And that's going to be true for all the bosses as we get to them. But of course we haven't got to them yet, so we'll see all these as we progress.